Have you ever stopped to reconsider whether the humble 22 long rifle has a place in your personal defense plan? Or maybe you're wondering which specific loads are most effective when it comes to taking care of small game or troublesome backyard critters. In this breakdown, we're taking a close look at some of the most capable 22 long rifle cartridges currently on the market. You might be surprised at the punch these tiny rounds can pack. Despite their compact size, several of these options deliver impressive ballistic performance, consistent reliability, and enough stopping power to get the job done. Whether your focus is protecting yourself or putting down pests cleanly, these rimfire rounds will likely make you rethink what the 22 long rifle is truly capable of. First up, Federal Punch 29 grain flat nose. Federal's 29 grain flat nose load from the Punch series was built from the ground up with personal defense in mind. It's one of the few rimfire options specifically designed to meet the demands of defensive shooting, especially from compact handguns. This lightweight projectile hits speeds near 1,070 feet per second when fired through a short 2-inch barrel, generating close to 74 foot-pounds of energy. That may not sound like much, but real-world gel tests show it can reach penetration depths between 12 and 15 inches, right in line with what the FBI recommends for defensive loads. Unlike hollow points, which are designed to expand, this flat nose round focuses on deep, straight-line penetration. That's especially important when you're working with small calibers, where every bit of retained energy counts. The Punch series is engineered for smooth function in smaller rimfire pistols, making it a smart pick for shooters who need low recoil and consistent results in a defensive setting. Price-wise, expect to spend somewhere between $10 and $12 for a 50-round box, roughly 20 to 24 cents per shot. If you're carrying a 22 long rifle and want a round that means business, the Federal Punch delivers just that. Next, CCI Stinger 32 grain copper-plated hollow point. When you need to deal with fast-moving varmints or small game, the CCI Stinger 32 grain hollow point is a fan favorite among seasoned rimfire shooters. It's well known for being one of the hottest factory loads in the 22 long rifle lineup. This little bullet leaves a standard rifle barrel screaming at around 1,640 feet per second, hitting with about 191 foot-pounds of energy. That speed translates to an exceptionally flat trajectory, which makes precision shots on small targets much easier even at longer distances. In ballistic gel, the Stinger tends to punch through 8 to 12 inches depending on the setup. Thanks to its copper-plated hollow point design, it expands quickly on impact, often doubling in diameter to somewhere between 0.33 and 0.44 inches. That rapid expansion makes it highly effective at dropping pests on the first shot. Though it's optimized for rifle barrels, it can still function in handguns. Just keep in mind that shorter barrels will trim down velocity and expansion. As far as price goes, it generally runs around $10 to $12 for a box of 50 rounds, which breaks down to about 20 to 24 cents per round. For anyone needing high-speed, high-impact performance from a rimfire, the Stinger remains a go-to choice. Coming in at number 3, CCI Velocitor 40 grain copper-plated hollow point. For hunters who spend their weekends in the field chasing rabbits or tree squirrels, the CCI Velocitor is a standout performer. This 40 grain copper-plated hollow point may fly under the radar, but it brings serious heat for a 22 long rifle round. When fired from a full-length rifle barrel, it hits speeds of roughly 1,435 feet per second, packing a punch of about 183 foot-pounds of energy. In ballistic gel, the Velocitor consistently reaches penetration depths between 12 and 14 inches, which is more than enough for clean, ethical kills on small game. The hollow point design is tuned for reliable expansion, typically widening the projectile by 50 to 70% upon contact, ending up in the ballpark of 0.33 to 0.37 inches in spread. That's controlled penetration with enough knockdown power to drop game without causing excessive meat damage. While it's tailored for rifles, it'll run in handguns too, though you can expect reduced speed and power from a shorter barrel. Most retailers sell a box of 50 for around $10 to $12, so you're looking at 20 to 24 cents per shot. If you're serious about rimfire hunting, this round definitely earns its spot in your loadout. Landing at number 4, Winchester Silver Tip Segmented Hollow Point. Built with personal protection in mind, The Winchester Silvertip segmented hollow point is not your typical 22 long rifle round. Its 37 grain projectile is designed to break apart on impact, splitting into 3 sharp fragments that travel separate paths through the target. This fragmentation effect is meant to increase the chance of striking vital organs, which is a game changer for such a small caliber. When fired from a rifle, the Silvertip clocks in around 1,160 feet per second and delivers close to 92 foot-pounds of energy. Though it functions fine in long guns, this cartridge shines brightest in short-barreled handguns, where it's tuned to break apart at just the right depth. In gel testing, those 3 segments carve multiple wound tracks while the bullet's solid base continues forward, ensuring reliable straight-line penetration. Just note that from a rifle barrel, it might fragment too early, so a compact pistol is usually the best platform for this round. Pricing generally falls between $8 and $12 per box of 50, putting each round at roughly 16 to 24 cents. If you're in the market for a rimfire defensive load with maximum terminal effect, the Silvertip brings unique performance to the table. At number 5, Remington Yellow Jacket 33 grain truncated cone hollow point. When fast-moving varmints need to be handled in a hurry, the Remington Yellow Jacket gets the job done. This 33 grain bullet features a distinctive truncated cone profile with a hollow point up front. It's engineered to reach blistering speeds up to 1,500 feet per second when fired from a rifle, with impact energy hovering around 165 foot-pounds. The shape of the projectile helps it transfer energy quickly into the target, delivering immediate stopping power without over-penetration. In ballistic gel, the Yellow Jacket tends to reach between 8 and 10 inches of penetration, with expansion boosting the bullet's width by about 50 to 70%, typically ending up between 0.33 and 0.37 inches. This makes for an ideal varmint load, enough punch to be effective, but controlled enough to avoid unnecessary damage. Though it works best from a long gun, it can still function in pistols, though performance will be dialed back. As for price, expect to pay somewhere between $6.99 and $10 for a box of 50, which comes out to roughly 14 to 20 cents per round. If you're looking to thin out the pest population or fill your freezer with small game, the Yellow Jacket is a high-speed contender that delivers. Number 6, Aguila Interceptor 40 grain solid point. If you're after a high-speed rimfire option for small game, the Aguila Interceptor is a solid bet. This 40 grain solid point round is built for deep punch rather than flashy expansion. When launched from a standard rifle, it clocks in around 1,470 feet per second and delivers close to 192 foot-pounds of energy, an impressive number for a 22 long rifle. In gel testing, it punches through over 12 inches of material, which makes it more than capable for clean, humane kills on critters like rabbits and groundhogs. Because the bullet doesn't expand, it penetrates straight and deep, ideal for shots that need to reach vital zones without fragmenting. While it's best used in rifles, you can run it through a handgun if needed, just know you'll lose some speed and energy in the process. Most boxes of 50 rounds land between $6.45 and $8, making this a budget-friendly choice for hunters who demand solid terminal performance without breaking the bank. Number 7, Horney Critical Defense 45 grain FTX. Horney's critical defense line is well known for its real-world protection focus, and the 22 Magnum version doesn't disappoint. This 45 grain FTX round is made for self-defense and brings Horney's signature flex tip technology into the rimfire world. Out of a short-barreled handgun, it moves at roughly 1,000 feet per second and produces about 100 foot-pounds of muzzle energy. Not bad for such a small round. In gel tests, the FTX design expands dependably, blooming up to about 0.40 inches in diameter, or roughly 80% wider than its original size. Its nickel-plated casing resists corrosion, while the low-flash propellant keeps muzzle blasts from blinding you in the dark details that matter when lives are on the line. Although built with short-barreled pistols in mind, it'll cycle through a rifle just fine, though that extra velocity might affect how it expands. Expect to pay between $16.99 and $19.99 for a 50-round box, which breaks down to around 34 to 40 cents per round. If protection is your priority, this is one of the most dependable 22 Magnum loads available. Number 8. CCI Mini Mag 36 Grain Hollow Point. Few rimfire loads are as universally trusted as the CCI Mini Mag. This 36 grain copper-plated hollow point offers the kind of consistency that both hunters and plinkers appreciate. Fired from a full-size rifle, it hits about 1,260 feet per second and delivers roughly 127 foot-pounds of energy, plenty for dispatching varmints and small game cleanly. The bullet expands well on impact, typically growing in width by 50 to 70%, reaching around 0.33 to 0.37 inches. That's enough expansion to make a difference without compromising on penetration, which averages 10 to 12 inches in gel. The Minimag also shines in semi-automatic firearms, thanks to its clean-burning propellant and reliable cycling. Whether you're clearing pests or teaching a new shooter the ropes, this round does the job without fuss. Sold in 100-round boxes, you'll usually find them priced between $10 and $12, which comes out to around 10 to 12 cents per round. It's a go-to round that earns its reputation through sheer reliability and all-purpose capability. Number 9. Winchester PowerPoint 40 grain plated hollow point. For hunters who demand a balanced mix of penetration and expansion, the Winchester PowerPoint 40 grain plated hollow point is a proven rimfire option. This 22 long rifle round is topped with a copper-plated projectile that's built for measured performance, neither too explosive nor too shallow. When fired from a standard rifle barrel, it zips along at close to 1,280 feet per second, hitting with around 145 foot-pounds of energy. That's more than enough for ethically taking down game like squirrels or rabbits. In ballistic gel, the PowerPoint reliably penetrates between 10 and 12 inches and expands by roughly 50 to 70%, with final diameters ranging from 0.33 to 0.37 inches. That performance strikes a sweet spot strong enough to be effective, but not so aggressive that it ruins usable meat. Although this round was primarily engineered with rifles in mind, it still cycles and fires in pistols, albeit with reduced velocity and impact. You can typically pick up a 100-round box for $10 to $12, putting each shot in the 10 to 12 cent range. For those seeking a do-it-all small game load, this is a dependable go-to. Number 10. Federal Game Shock 31 grain copper plated hollow point. If varmints are tearing up your property and you need a reliable rimfire option to deal with them, the Federal Game Shock 31 grain copper plated hollow point should be on your radar. This lightweight round moves out of a rifle barrel at about 1,430 feet per second and delivers approximately 141 foot-pounds of energy. It's specifically engineered for fast energy transfer upon contact, making it great for pest elimination without unnecessary overpenetration. In ballistic gel, the bullet typically expands to around 50 to 70% larger than its original diameter, ending up between 0.33 and 0.37 inches across. Penetration depths range from 8 to 10 inches, plenty to do the job without wasting energy. While the Game Shock runs best in rifles, it can be used in handguns, though shorter barrels may lower velocity and impact. It's a budget-friendly option too. Boxes of 50 usually sell for $5.99 to $6.99, making each round cost roughly 12 to 14 cents. For anyone handling a varmint problem, it's a practical and effective rimfire solution. And that wraps up today's roundup of standout 22 long rifle loads. From specialized self-defense rounds like the Federal Punch and Winchester Silvertip, to field-proven hunting picks like the CCI Velociter and Remington Yellow Jacket, these cartridges each offer their own advantages depending on your needs. Whether you're prioritizing consistent penetration, rapid expansion, or reliable cycling, there's a load on this list that delivers. Now we'd love to hear from you. Did your favorite make the cut? Drop a comment below and let us know what 22 long rifle round you trust the most and why. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Then hit that notification bell so you never miss our next dive into the world of firearms and ammunition.